My dearly beloved brothers and sisters in the faith, why did the Magi leave for their long, strenuous, and dangerous journey? Why did they trust a star? We believe that they were educated people, don't we? Therefore, we may assume that their decision was made after some serious thinking, deliberation, and reflection. They left their land to meet a king. But we may ask, what did they really expect from that encounter? Did they expect something extraordinary and exceptional? Perhaps they did. But instead they encountered a little crying child. They knew that the baby would not say a word to them or perform some great miracle. The baby wasn't even going to teach them anything, perhaps some great knowledge. Were they disappointed? All those miles traveled in wind and cold, day and night, just to see an infant? I think that the answer to the question why they left their land and traveled so long can be found in the gifts that they brought. They traveled all these miles to offer gifts. They went on a journey not to receive something, but to give. They left their homeland and traveled all those miles in order to give. That leads us to another question. Can we really offer God anything? Are we able? Can and should we offer God gifts? I think the answer is yes, we can. But what kind of gifts can we offer God? And what is worth offering to God? The Magi brought with them gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And we may say, Jesus didn't really need these things. Well, maybe gold would have been useful. Perhaps Joseph and Mary sold the gold on the market and used the money to buy food for the baby Jesus, or something for the house, or maybe some toy. But what about frankincense and myrrh? Can we offer God anything? We can. But the truth is that God doesn't need anything from us. Being a God, He is perfect in Himself. We cannot add anything to God. Because God is God, He already has everything. The earth and the heavens are His. He created them. Because if God was really in need of something from us, then we would call Him God with small g. The pagan gods needed things from people all the time. You can only read the Greek mythology. Gods constantly want something from people. And if they don't get it, if people don't give them those things freely, then gods take it from them by force. They lie, they cheat, they coerce. Pagan gods need some things from people. But our God doesn't need anything from us. He is perfect in Himself. A few years ago, I went to Mexico to go to the shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. But I took a day to travel from Mexico to the city, to the Aztec ruins, Teotihuacan. I don't know how many of you have been there. It's a famous place, the ruins of the Aztec city. And you can walk the streets of Teotihuacan, and there are two magnificent buildings there, the two pyramids, the pyramid of the moon, a little lower, and the pyramid of the sun. You can climb them both. Halfway to the top of the pyramid of the sun, I realized that I should be exercising more. It's quite a high monument, and I learned that these pyramids were built for a reason. They were built so that Aztecs could offer human sacrifices to the god of sun, because they believed that sun, in order to give its light, had to be fed by human blood. They would take their slaves to the top of the pyramid of the sun, and they would slaughter them, ripping their heart out. If you have seen the movie Apocalypto, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the idea of pagan gods. They need something from people. They must be given things because they want them. And if they don't get them freely, they will take it by force. Well, that's not our God. That's not the God that we believe in. Our God is different. He does not need anything from us because he is perfect in himself. And he's not going to take anything away from you that you don't want to give him. So that's a problem. In the beginning I said we can offer God gifts. So if our God does not really need anything from us, and yet we can offer him gifts, then maybe he just has a caprice to take things away from us, just because he wants to. Many people has this idea of God. They think that God actually is really uneasy when people are too happy. He takes things away from us because he has a caprice. But that kind of God would really be in reality a sadistic and cruel God. That's not a Christian God. It's a caricature of God. So what do we really mean when we speak of a gift to God? In our Christian tradition, a gift to God has been called a sacrifice. We use that word all the time. In fact, we are here this morning because we are offering to God a holy sacrifice of the Mass. Sacrifice is one of the most important words in Christianity. To offer God sacrifice, a gift, is a good thing. We all know that. But does it mean that we lose anything by giving it to God? That we become poorer in any way? I don't think so. Giving God gifts must be done in freedom, in complete freedom. God doesn't want to take anything away from us by force. And when we give to God, we are not depriving ourselves of anything. You see, a lot of people have this image of Christianity and the Christian God that is so skewed and unhelpful. Some philosophers have called Christianity a religion of unhappiness because it supposedly deprives people of the joys of life that others can enjoy to the fullest. It is sometimes said that Christian God always wants something from us, and if we don't give it to him what he wants, we are going to be punished. Something bad is going to happen. You see, even many Catholics think that. I gotta go to Mass on Sunday because if I don't, number one, my conscience is gonna bother me. I'm gonna feel bad about myself, and then what if this God is going to get revenge because I didn't do something for him or I didn't give to him what he wanted? Would that be a good idea of giving gifts to God? I don't think so. That would in reality be a caricature of what Christians understand as sacrifice, a gift to God. To offer God something doesn't mean to deprive oneself of something. It simply means to offer God a gift, a present. That's what the Magi did. They brought to Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and they were presents, gifts that the Magi offered the little Jesus. Now, why do we give gifts, presents? We just celebrated Christmas. Many of us have given gifts and presents, and many of us have received gifts from other people. Gifts are offered to strengthen our relationship. When we give something to somebody from the heart, we want to say to that person, "You are dear to me, you are cherished, I care about you, I want to be close to you, you are important to me." When we were children, we remember how much joy it was for us to receive gifts. And when a child receives a gift, he or she hears the message, "You are loved. There are people that care about you. You are not alone." So this is the message that is given when we receive and give gifts. But as much as we like to receive gifts, we must also learn how to give. Because really the ability to give is the ability to communicate the message of love. Not to give is not to love. People who do not know how to give do not know how to love. So to give gifts is to express love, and to receive gifts is to receive love. To accept gifts is to accept the message that we can be loved and treasured by others, that we are worthy of love. And the same dynamic applies to God. God doesn't owe us anything. He has given us everything freely out of love. All the things that we have and are presents, gifts given freely by our loving God. So can we give God gifts? I answer yes, we can. But let's ask the final question. Do we have to? Must we give gifts to God? What would the answer be to that question? I don't know about your answer, but I would say, of course not. You do not have to give God anything if you don't want to. To give somebody a gift because you have to, because you are unconsciously forced to do it, is not really a gift anymore. Imagine going before Christmas to the store, buying somebody a gift, but deep down in your heart, you really don't want to do it. You feel like you have to do it, but you don't really want to. And if you were honest with yourself, you would have attached the card to that gift. I am giving you that gift, but I felt that I had to do it, but I really didn't want to. Would that be a gift anymore? And if we apply that dynamic to God, and a lot of people do, yes, God, I want to serve you, I want to obey your commandments, I want to come to Mass on Sunday, but I just don't really want to. I do it because I know and I kind of believe that if I don't, something bad is going to happen. You're going to punish me for that. That's a bad dynamic to have in your spiritual life. Yes, we can offer gifts to God, but they are only gifts if they are offered in complete freedom, if they express love. God is willing to accept those gifts that are freely given, gifts given out of love to Him. And that's what the Magi did. They brought Jesus gifts, presents, and they communicated love. The Magi gave something that was valuable, for they gave freely. So Magi left their homeland for the long journey in order to give. But by giving, they received. There was an exchange of love that happened by their encounter with Jesus. And that's what should happen to us. The Magi received way more than they could have ever imagined. They gave love and they received love in freedom. So Magi teach us today that the only purpose to give God gifts, to offer him sacrifices, in fact, to offer him anything, is love and freedom. Because if we are coerced to do it, if we do it because we have to, then we diminish the value of the gift. And at the end of the day, if we do not love God freely, there is really absolutely nothing that we can offer him.